the Roman army stands among history's most effective and meticulously organized fighting forces. One of their most intriguing tactical choices, directly contrasting with many contemporary enemies, was their deliberate use of battlefield silence, rather than intimidating war cries. In this exploration, we'll examine how silence and disciplined communication proved essential to Roman military success, and how these approaches evolved throughout imperial history. When envisioning the Roman army, we picture an imposing force. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers marching in perfect formation, confronting enemies with unshakable discipline. This discipline formed the cornerstone of Roman military strategy, enabling complex battlefield maneuvers and remarkable adaptability amid changing conditions. Perhaps their most distinctive characteristic was organizational excellence. Each soldier understood his precise role and followed commands without hesitation. Unlike many ancient contemporaries who employed war cries, battle chants, and martial music to intimidate opponents, Romans generally preferred operating controlled silence. This wasn't accidental, but represented deliberate strategic choice. Silence enabled legionaries to maintain absolute concentration and preserve clear communication channels. Rather than shouting orders across chaotic battlefields, Roman commanders utilized visual signals, particularly the Aquila Eagle Standard, the legion's most sacred symbol. This facilitated discipline coordination while preventing confusion during critical engagements, eliminating tactical vulnerabilities that disorganization might create. Beyond visual signals, specialized musical instruments play crucial communication roles. The tuba, straight bronze trumpet, and cornu, curved trumpet, produced distinctive sounds audible above battle chaos. These instruments generated specific audio signals, conveying commands to advance, retreat, or reconfigure formations without relying on potentially misinterpreted shouted orders, ensuring more reliable coordination between units. The famous Tudo turtle formation exemplifies why silence proved tactically advantageous. This defensive configuration protected soldiers from incoming projectiles by arranging shields to cover all sides and overhead, creating nearly impenetrable protection. For this formation to succeed, soldier coordination required absolute precision. The slightest miscommunication could create fatal gaps in the shield wall, exposing troops to enemy fire. Silence during Tostudo execution ensured every soldier remained attentive to officer signals without distraction. Both visual and auditory coordination maintained formation integrity and prevented potentially lethal disorganization. Many ancient cultures weaponized noise for both psychological warfare and troop motivation. Greeks typically invoked deities before battle. Their synchronized divine invocations, creating intimidating war cries that bolster morale while unsettling opponents. The Gauls, renowned for their warrior ferocity, became infamous for their thunderous battlefield roars. They employed noise tactically to disorientate enemies and create psychological advantage before a physical engagement. Germanic tribes opposing Rome developed distinctive psychological techniques, including Varitus, a war chant beginning quietly before crescendoing into thunderous roaring. This practice united warriors while intimidating enemies, simultaneously building courage and creating tactical advantage. While Romans prioritized silence, this didn't indicate ignorance regarding psychological warfare. Their pragmatic approach incorporated enemy tactics when advantageous in specific scenarios. A notable example of Romans strategically employing sound occurred during Boudicca's rebellion in 61 AD. When Queen Boudicca's tribe attacked Roman forces in Britannia, the British warriors used war cries attempting to intimidate Roman troops. Romans maintained disciplined silence until the optimal moment when British forces entered pylon javelin range. At this precise moment, Romans broke silence with coordinated war cries, followed by perfectly synchronized attacks. This controlled sound deployment used at the tactically perfect moment psychologically shocked the British warriors who hadn't anticipated such a disciplined response. By the 4th century AD, the Roman army underwent significant composition changes. Many soldiers now came from provincial and frontier regions, including former Germanic adversaries. These recruits brought native warfare traditions, including Baratus chants and other cultural practices, gradually incorporated into Roman military units. Roman leadership recognized these psychological techniques' potential benefits and permitted their adoption among auxiliary formations rather than compromising discipline. This incorporation demonstrated the Romans' army's adaptability, weaponizing former enemy strengths to imperial advantage. Nevertheless, silence as tactical doctrine helped Rome dominate vast territories for centuries, representing one of their fundamental battlefield advantages.